right, we are live. Welcome to a new episode of Fins Talk Overtime. I'm your host, Bobby Melendez. You're watching Overtime on the Fins Talk Sports Network. As Evan said in the comments, hit that like and subscribe button. He's a smartass to start it off, but we got a special guest to start us off. Scooter, brother, how you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you for having me out here, man.
Oh, man, we're excited about it. Everybody, Steve, Evan, Cat for Life, I see you all in there. Awesome. Brett, fresh off a Dolphins loss in preseason. It's only week 2, but how you doing?
I'm good. We got a lot to talk about, but I'm good.
We do.
Everybody's getting their fingers typing up Tua in there. Watch.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's look. The trolling's about to start. Watch. Evan.
That's right. Yeah, Evan's already on a roll. Brett, TikTok, Bobby. Where do we start? All right, and let's just start with that. First off, well, let's start with getting to know our guest here. Tell us a little bit before the show. But Scooter, man, so I'm excited about having you. I've been following you up on Twitter. If you guys haven't, check him out. What's your Twitter handle? It was just up on here a minute ago. Let's see. Scooter, little Scooter 254. Go give him a follow. It's a good follow. It's fun. But Scooter, man, tell me about you being a Dolphins fan, how that started out, and maybe your favorite Dolphin growing up.
I've been a Dolphins fan like all my life. My dad raised me as one, actually. My favorite Dolphin growing up, I have a lot of them. I'm gonna say Jason Taylor.
You're right with us, brother. All three of us are Jason Taylor. I mean, Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas, Ricky Williams. But yeah, Jason Taylor was my number one.
And
I feel like everybody in our age group is like saying the same thing.
I also like the secondary when we had Patrick Surtain, Sarah Madison, Sammy Knight, and Brock Marion. Like, yeah,
Brock Marion, Tim Bowens.
Yeah.
At one point, we had all of them. We had Thomas, Sayal, Taylor, Adewale Agunlie, Larry Chester. Man, that defense was so stout. Like, no one even knew Moreline Greenwood was below average linebacker. You know what I mean? Even he looked like a stud with all that talent around, man. That defense was so nice, man.
Hey, for sure, man. But like, I've been a Dolphin fan all my life. Like I say, my little brother a Patriot fan, so hey, we've been split from the start. Like we battle it out, man. Like every football season. Like I say, like the last 20 years, he been having the upper hand, obviously, but about the last 3 games, we got the upper hand. So let's see, can we get rolling?
Oh, that's awesome, man. So cool. So Jason Taylor, Dolphin fan your whole life. So let's get right into this because it's right on the cusp of football season. We're in the middle of the preseason. Week 2, Dolphins, we finally got to see part of the starting offense. Tua started. Terron Armstead did not start. Connor Williams did start. Tyreek and Jalen were off. Gesicki did play. But based off what you saw in that Dolphins versus Raiders game, well, let's just go based off that. How did you feel about that Raiders-Dolphins game, especially that starting offense with Tua? Did you see anything that you liked?
I feel like this is a setup question.
No, it's not, brother. Hey, trust me. Just go with your flow, man. Be you, brother.
Oh no. I feel like the offense was all right. Like I feel like it could have been better, but maybe we'll get to see the full thing. Everybody healthy and and playing. Like if Tyreek was out there, Wild was out there, Tua need them. But I feel like we'll get a better feel for it. Like once everybody playing, including Armstead, we need them out there for sure. But it was all right. Like it wasn't too bad. I like Chase Edmonds. I like how he catch the ball out the backfield, and he can make people miss. And like the offense. I feel like the offense. McDaniel gonna have the offense like pretty good. It's just everybody got to get in sync. You know what I'm saying? The line got to gel better. The line been a little inconsistent during preseason, but I feel like it's gonna be a few growing pains. But I feel like we can get it going in his outside zone scheme.
Anything you will say will be more positive than the two B's ever have to say. All right, Evan, he's starting early. Well, look, I agree with you. I think, and that's something that Evan on the post-game show brought up on Saturday, that we were discussing, same thing as Dustin, who joined us on that show. That
the two B's have to say. What does that even mean?
But that for me, the offense, especially that first string offense, and yes, Tyreek and Jalen weren't there, and you got to take that into account. Obviously, they're saying that maybe McDaniel's not showing the whole playbook. He's kind of slowing it down, because to me, the offense didn't look inspiring. The offensive line minus Terran Armstead did not look inspiring whatsoever. I mean, last year the offensive line was a lot of people's biggest Achilles heel. That's why Tua couldn't be a productive NFL quarterback, despite what people are going to say, because the offensive line was bad. Well, the Dolphins signed Terran Armstead, who's an all-pro. They got Connor Williams, the 11th best guard in football last year, some of the most penalties. However,
let's move him to center.
Let's move him to center.
Let's say this. Let's take this like top half of the league, even top third of the league guard.
Yeah.
There's 64 guards in the league, and this guy was in the top 11. Do that math, and let's move him to center. That's where we want him.
And that's one thing, man. That's the other thing. Now the first offense that didn't look they looked uninspiring. The second offense, or the one with Teddy, wasn't inspiring whatsoever. I mean, people were comparing the Jacoby. I wouldn't go that far, but and then of course Skylar Thompson 2 weeks in a row. I mean, people could say, oh, it's first string or third string, second string, whatever. It's pro football, and there are first round quarterbacks who get drafted in the first round who look like seventh rounders in preseason and in the regular season. This kid does not look like that. So,
I mean, Noah looks like a 7th round pick. Like Skylar looks like he was picked in like day 2. Sorry.
Hey, let me ask you that, Scooter, man. I wanted to ask you about who, if you can pick one, we call it studs and duds. If you could pick one stud of the game and one dud of the game, who would you pick?
Oh, the stud is kind of tough. I got two, but one.
Go for it.
Two. I'm gonna go Skylar and Easy, man. That rookie connection to something else, man. Like, they playing like they've been here before, and they just rookies, And honestly, like, when we drafted them, I like, man, why we draft them? We deep at receiver. Where I signed Teddy B as a QB. Like, I didn't understand the picks, but hey, I do now. Hey, McDaniel, do your thing, man. I ain't gonna second guess you.
Hey, look, I mean, the way Skylar Thompson is playing, if you tell me, hey, he's going to develop into like a legit solid backup, and he's going to be the guy if whoever our future starter is, and you have a guy that just knows the system, that's valuable to me. I mean, look at Nick Foles. I mean, look how valuable he was just knowing that offense. So, like, I like competition. I like investing in quarterbacks. So when we drafted him, it was kind of head scratching because I didn't see him as a fit, but hey, they obviously know more than me because I'm looking at this. I'm like, this kid looks better as a Dolphin than he did at Kansas State. So something's changing. So
there's
maybe
quarterbacks that don't look like good. They're going to be good in college and then they're being great in the pros.
And that could be coaching. Maybe Kansas State's coaching. Well, Kansas State's coaching is very, very old school. So maybe that was it. Maybe he just needed that coaching.
Yeah, Skylar definitely got that swag, man. That's one thing I like about him. Like I say, he played like he been playing for 10 years, and he just a rookie. Like he slinging them, man. Like he a beast, man. I like what I'm seeing from him so far.
And he's an athlete. He's not afraid to use his legs either. And he took some shots. He's like, screw it. I got an open receiver back, the defender's backs to me. I'm going to throw it up and just take this shot. And I was like, that's impressive because most rookies are like, nah, I ain't going to do that. This kid said, I am not going to be practice squad. I will make your 53. I'm going to make this decision hard on you.
We can't risk losing him, man. He here to stay for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Somebody was saying about putting him on the practice squad. There's no chance in hell he's going on.
No, not now. He's shown way too much in preseason. Another, like, Andy Reid would snatch him up. All these quarterback guys, all these guys that know how to develop quarterbacks, they'll snatch him right up.
I mean, unless we protect them, don't we?
Yeah.
Like up to 4 people or something like that.
Something like that. I don't know how many, but yeah, there's like a protective practice squad player. But I'd rather just leave him on the roster.
I'd keep him on the roster.
Yeah.
And and Evan brought up Skylar has that Fitz magic in him. That's what I brought up that day watching him. Especially, I mean, it was a little behind. It was underthrown to Isakama, Easy E. But that catch was amazing. I mean, that guy is a stud, obviously. But but just taking that risk to throw it out there. I mean, no fear. I mean, when he came into the game, and I know people are going to keep saying, "Oh, it's the second stringers, it's whatever bullshit, BS bullshit," because the energy changes when he went into the game. I mean, the feel for it, when Teddy was there, he's kind of, when they missed the pass. When Skylar was out, he's yelling at Saquon White, the running back. Yes. He's telling him, get in this play. And also a touchdown in the corner to White.
After a timeout. How many times we've seen them waste timeouts just to blow a play and have an incomplete pass or run for nothing, and then he throws a beautiful touch pass. Yeah, so I love that. Called a timeout, got it square, got in White's ear, and then was like, let's go. And the next play, touchdown. That's leadership. You can't coach that.
It's like Beauty and the Beast. There's something there with that guy, man.
Yeah, he definitely got it. He got the it that Omar be talking about. Omar.
That's right.
what he be wanting Tua to have, he got that.
He really does.
He got it.
No, and that Steve said the same thing. To me, play calling changed too. That's what I mean too. It seemed more, there's a different type of energy. The playbook opened up when Skylar was in there. And I don't know if that's Mike McDaniel saying, okay, now I'm more comfortable to play and I want to put Tua at risk right now. Wait till the regular season. Then I'll show everything. He kind of showed more.
It didn't change. The calls
you don't think so?
A lot of the plays were similar. He was just hitting receivers that Tua wasn't seeing.
What are you trying
to I agree too. Tua looked good. Looked decent. I like when he stepped up.
Tua looked like Tua. To me, Tua looked like Tua.
Now he made a couple.
The same, honestly.
That's what I mean. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just the same.
Look, that play to Edmonds where he scrambled out of the pocket, dumped it off to him. Well, everybody yells at the dump off. He threw it to him about 10 yards, and he made a nice play. I liked that play initially because I thought he got pressured. He looked good throwing on the run. I was like, that was nice. I like that. See, I'll take that. So take that for what it's worth. Like, he's pressured, just pretended a defender was pressuring. What I didn't like is he left a clean pocket. So, and he had Wilson open. But the positive I took out of that is that he did move, and he moved well, looked good move, and looked smooth and threw the ball. So I was actually happy with that. I was like, you know what? I'll accept that play. It went for a first down, although I would rather him hit that home run than Wilson. But, he looked good moving, so I was like, I'll accept that play. That's not a negative at all.
So, Scooter, let me ask you this because we got the studs at Easy, Skylar. Who's your dud?
Man, Noah, man.
Getting diced up by third and fourth straight quarterback.
I don't get what. I don't even got words for Noah, man. It just ain't good though. Like you was a first round pick. I mean, you should show he should have been showed some type of promise right now. Like he haven't showed nothing. Like he can undrafted receivers. Like, I mean, it's bad. Like we got undrafted cornerbacks out playing them. Like he my dud, man. Like it seems like every offense target him. They go right at him, no matter who we playing. They go right at Noah. Like even Tua got all his highlights against Noah. This
yeah. Tua's like dicing him up in practice. Which, hey, he was a first round pick for a reason. So all you other fans want to talk trash, all right? Tua's diced up a first round pick corner.
Yeah, it's definitely Noah though. Like I don't know if he's watching film or.
I feel for the kid, man. I feel for him.
Yeah, I mean, he was a receiver all the way in Auburn until his last year. Played 1 year corner. He looked pretty good, and it seems like he was going like in the right direction last year. He was in preseason. He was in position to make a play all the time. Like, oh, all right, he's starting to understand it. Just learn how to track the ball, which takes time. But man, it's like every time you see him on the field, he does something worse and worse. I'm like, man, I don't know what. I think it's time to move on from him and let somebody else try to develop him, and maybe he has a resurgence. Who knows? But I think it's like the end of the Noah Monogamy experiment right now.
I agree, man. Like that dude is burnt toast. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, it is what it is, man. Y'all know I'm keeping it real. he don't need to be on the roster, man. Like,
hey, maybe he could
I
redeem
was trying
himself
to.
as like a receiver or something. I don't know, man. But
I guess they thought we'll forget the next Sam Shields or something. But nah,
yeah,
definitely ain't happening.
maybe that's what they thought. I mean, because he's an athletic freak. His 40 didn't show, but the dude, and his parents were Olympic athletes. Like, he's an athletic freak, but it just didn't come together.
Yeah, it's
then
not looking good.
He played good against like the good receivers, you know. Like, so I was thinking, like, okay, maybe we got something. Maybe Flores see something in him, you know. But nah, that one there, that one there. As a matter of fact, that whole 2020 draft, that first round, just
I love this.
it was terrible. I ain't gonna count.
Thanks for watching, John. John says,
love
watch
this.
the press conferences with Tua and Coach. Nothing is wrong. They are not opening up the playbook. Stop looking at seventh-round quarterbacks playing future practice squad players. Whatever you say, pal.
And
Thank
that's why it sounds like it's scripted when he's talking about Tua, and sounds natural when he's talking about Skyler. But we're not even like talking about Skyler like taking Tua's job. I mean, why are you so?
Yeah, no one's saying
you're so sensitive. Like,
I mean, that's the Tua stance, man. They man, y'all know how they are, man.
I'm not even saying he's gonna take it. Look, here's how it is, John. Tua played a lot of backups with the Raiders. You know, they know no team opens up the playbooks in the preseason, but he missed some reads. Skyler missed some reads. Skyler underthrew some passes. Izukanma actually made some plays that actually made it look like Skyler made a better throw than he did. There's the two big catches. Izukanma was making adjustments to it, which I like. Skyler throwing it up. Hey, let your guys make a play. But yeah, it's not like we're crowning him though, because he still made a play, but Izukanma made the play. But at the same time, he still just looks good. I mean, we can be excited that our backup quarterback looks good, while like Tua seems to be progressing a little bit. But he, you know, so it's not like we're saying he's taking his job yet.
You're getting in there. Oh.
At the same time, on that throw, he had to Easy bailed him out of. He was getting hit while he was throwing it.
Yep, he couldn't step clean into it either. So all around
then,
is impressive by all of them.
And then I just like the fact he give his receivers chances.
Yeah,
like
that's right.
A receiver like that, throw the hell up, just throw it up, and let him make a play like Easy did. So, like, I feel like that's what Tua got to get better at. Like, he got to just trust his receiver. Like, my athlete better than yours. Like, forget it. Like, throw it up and get a receiver's chance. And like, he played too safe. Like, you know, he played safe.
It's not a competition. We appreciate it by watching. No, that's something that and Tua has to start doing a little bit more of. Which we did see a couple throws like against the Buccaneers in their practices. I saw a couple throws where the defender's back was to the receiver, and he threw it to the receiver. That's giving your guy a chance to make a play, because the defender's back to him, he's open. You know, throw the ball and let your receiver just out jump him, get the ball. And you know, you look, Skyler has been doing that a lot, but Tua did that. He tried to do that with Gesicki. I don't like that so much. Kind of cool back on that, but I mean, a bigger tight end usually catches that ball. Gesicki kind of alligator armed it, but I don't think Gesicki really wanted that ball. I don't think he was expecting the ball too much there. But yeah, that's but he at the same time we did try to give him a chance, so I'll give him that.
You know, you brought up Gesicki. And I actually didn't have it listed here, but we talked about him during the post game. I just found it and we texted, Brett, you and I shared that during the post game. And I'll ask everybody to forgive me. I got a little bit of a cold. That's why I sound a little different. I'm not trying to do some nice, deep, raspy voice, you know.
Going NPR radio.
That's right. That's right. We're a little more loose here on Finn's Talk. But man, Gesicki was in there, you know, longer than the rest of the starters. And you know,
Gaskin was too.
Gaskin was there too. So, but you know, Gesicki really stood out to me, and he is in a contract year. He is franchise tag. So, Scooter, I'm going to start with you, brother, man. Did you find that weird at all? Is there any, you know, do you find that suspicious in any type of way?
I think they kept the Gesicki in like so he can keep improving on his blocking, like which was kind of, it was kind of mid. Like, he had that one good block where he was helping block. Then Smith came over and helped him block, and he went out for the catch. You know, went out to catch the ball. Like, that was nice. But other than that, like he this offense requires a blocking tight end. Like you got to be able to block. Like too, we already know what he can do if he line up at the slide. Or we already know he have a great pass catching tight end, but he got to stick his nose in there, man. And block, at least show effort. Like at least show some type of effort blocking. Like cause that's why we franchise tag him. If it don't work out this year, if he block trash, yeah, Gasecki was
Yeah,
yeah.
and yeah.
That safety was on Gasecki. You hate to say
And
it, but
this is the first time he's learning the pass block, and this offense requires tight ends to pass block every now and then. So that's
Brett, you look like that guy from Tim Allen. What's that? Home Improvement, the one who looks over the fence. It's like
trying to read it.
Yeah, I was trying to read. I was like, it popped up there.
And Gaskin fumble. Yeah, Gaskin does have a tendency to fumble. I'm not as hard on him as other people are.
I don't think Gaskin won't make the 53. Honestly.
No, I think he was on the field all night so they can
trade.
Yeah, get him out, get his name out there, get him reps to trade him.
Yeah.
No, I actually agree with Scooter though. I think it was two things come to your head. It's either reps, which makes a lot of sense, and put him pass block reps. They put him as a pass blocker, as a run blocker, doing a setup block, then run out to a route. So they did that, just trying to get him to seem like reps and just game time situations, not just practice. And they're trying to get him so it's either Gesicki is learning to block and they're just trying to develop him, or maybe they're trying to trade him and that's why he was out there the whole time. They're showcasing, look, he's improved as a blocker and he does look like he's improved a little bit, but he still has to get a lot better. I mean, who you
talking about, Cat for Life? Who's QB? You said it. No, just
I mean, like
that's not man.
I tell you, as the coach, I'm not even mad at the tight end for not catching it. Especially in preseason, that's more felt like a business decision. But I mean, I'm also telling my quarterback, like, hey, that safety squatting on that, take the underneath. And a lot of people say, well, he would have got sacked. Well, that's on the offensive line for not holding the blocks so he can get to a second read. If he can't get to a second read, then the offensive line's a problem.
That's what Tua struggled with too. Like his second read, like once they take his first read away, he like a deer in headlights. Like it's like, oh, like what I do now. Like
Gaskin, like, Williams, and Bowden for Hunt. Yeah, send it right now.
Oh yeah, I accept it. Like, yeah, like on that play also, Chase Edmonds was wide open.
Mm-hmm. One-on-one with the linebacker too.
Yeah, one-on-one. Come on, you got to trust. I know they're gonna say, well, you say they don't dick and dunk and black. Man, like that's football 101 right there. Like
Chase sometimes Edmonds, you have to, but when it's like predetermined all the time, that's when it's frustrating.
Yeah, facts. Like if it was somebody wide open down the field and you threw it to 2 yards, like that's when it's like, come on, Tua. Like, but like, Edmonds was right there 1-on-1 with a linebacker. I feel like he would have made a miss and, got the first down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
If it's Sony Michel, I don't like that.
Yeah.
If it's Mostert, maybe, but if it's like Edmonds, I like it a lot. Yeah. So.
Now, Brett, as we're still continuing before Brian Cat of the Fin side comes on, and we got Scooter and guys who watch it overtime, hit that like and subscribe button. The Fins Talk Sports Network. Let's talk about, as we're still continuing talking about the Raiders versus the Dolphins. Dolphins lost 15-13. Tua did play. Not much to talk about there. Skyler and Uzakama, lit it up. They were exciting. But let's talk about your studs and duds of the game, sir. We discussed this after the game. We've had some time to think about it. But if we could go ahead and get that graphic up.
We're going to start with studs. Oh, yeah. Let's start with positives. So, I agree with Scooter. Uzukama was a beast. He really showed flashes, the ball control, body positioning. Like, the dude, when I was kind of had a similar, feeling when we drafted him, where does he fit? Why do we need him too? And I'm like, but then they said he played gunner special teams. Okay, so we drafted a special teamer in the 4th round. Well, the more I watched and the more I realized he's more like a Cordero Patterson style guy. He's versatile. He's big. He's strong. He's fast. He can make adjustments. He little bit better hands, and his route running was way better than I wanted to give him credit for. And it's got even better. in the NFL already. So really like him and the versatility, and you're seeing they're focusing on him when he's in there, right? Just like it seems like Wilson seems to be a focal point when he's on the field. So I think those two are going to get a lot of reps this season. And Izukamu like flashed once again. Another guy on there is returning from last week was Ben Still. He's a defensive tackle. He seems to collapse the pocket a lot. He gets pushed. I saw him like throwing defenders back or blockers back into the quarterback. That was awesome. You've seen that in back-to-back weeks. So, yeah, I know they're backups, but the guy plays with awesome leverage, plays with great play strength, power at the point of the attack, and explodes out of his stance. I'm a big fan of watching him. He could like be a gem, possibly early practice squad guy, but maybe cap savings by getting rid of Jenkins, moving him. Who knows? But I would like to keep Jenkins as the veteran inside guy. And then finally, Porter Gustin. Now, I've talked about edge being a little bit of an issue. And when we signed Porter Gustin, I kind of saw it as like a special team / like bottom of the roster camp body. But the way he's been playing this preseason, I see a guy who can make the roster, be a backup, play some special teams, but actually get significant reps on defense. Like actually maybe push Scarlett for more reps too. But I really saw a lot out of him, and he keeps like making plays, and he sets the edge really well, which none of our starting edge defenders really do that well, except for Van Ginkel, but he's more of a traditional linebacker. So no, those are my three guys. Still in Gustin, I want to give some love to just because those guys are like really playing hard, and they can be like good, solid depth pieces going forward.
Awesome. So those are your studs. What about your duds of the game? And after your duds, we got another special guest. We got Brian Catt on the Fin side. He's backstage. So let's go with duds, and then we'll get Mr. Brian in here.
These don't really need much of an introduction. Noah Igbenogany, we know he's just been getting diced up. Like he's just they literally said, look for number 9. That's what the announcers were even saying. Jason Taylor said they're just looking for number 9 right now. We talk about that. No need to go further than that. Liam Eichenberg. Just been very disappointed with him at left guard. He's struggling a lot, looks lost out there. No anchors, getting pushed back. The whole offensive line looked like it struggled a little bit. Pass blocking was better than expected. It can still get better. Jackson had a little bit of a rough day, but, I don't want to put him as a dud because I thought he did a couple good things, but Eichenberg just seems like he just can't win a rep. And I think Solomon Kidney outplayed him. And finally, Sony Michel, not so down on him. He just looks slow, hasn't really shown much. Really, really hoping that he is just kind of like taking it easy because he's been out of reps for a while. I don't know, but hopefully Sony Michel will be better during the season, but he's not looking good. Kind of disappointing, honestly.
No, I think Noah's on everybody's
list. That's why those two shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. And I didn't want to be too hard on Jackson because I know he had a good week last week and then bad week this week, and Hunt kind of got better. But I want to give Jackson a little bit of a break because he hasn't looked terrible either. He's just looked serviceable right now.
I think it's a crime though that you did not have Skylar as one of your studs. He was,
that one was too easy and too obvious, and I figured if Tua wasn't going to be a dud, why would Skylar be a stud?
Yeah, that's a dick move. No, I'm just kidding.
But everybody was probably, the way he was on Tua, he's going to put him as a dud. But no, Tua's not a dud.
You just had to fit Sony in there. No, that's okay. We're just playing. All right. So, hey, we have Scooter with us right now. It's the Fit Talk Sports Network, Fit Talk Overtime. If you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. We have another special guest. We got Brian Catt from On the Fin Side. Brian, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great. Thank you for coming on.
Joining us, Brian.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I see you're talking about the Raiders game here. Yeah, I mean it's the Dolphins win their first game by 2 points after a field goal clangs off the uprights, and then lose their second game when a field goal clangs off the uprights. So it's
I never put that together, so thank you for that.
It's perfect harmony.
McDaniel is off to a perfectly balanced coaching.
Yes, he is. He is 500 in every sense of the word right now.
Hey, well, let's start with that, Brian. I mean, we're talking about the Raiders-Dolphins game. Why don't you just give us what you saw from the game? What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at preseason, I don't look for themes or overall how the offense is looking in totality or the defense. I really just look at individual performances, and the two that jump out at me that have really impressed or really impressed in this game, obviously Skylar Thompson and Eric Ezukama. I mean, and that's given that they traded most of their picks for Tyreek Hill. That's two of their top four guys. And Ezukama, what I like is every time he catches the ball, he doesn't go down on contact. And you've got two guys now, and with him and Cedric Wilson as your third and fourth guys who complement what Hill and Waddle bring. Ezukama and Wilson have more of a power element to their game, and I admire that, and I like the diversity there that they have. Skylar Thompson, I mean, to me, he's made the roster. I know that he's not going to see snaps as a third string quarterback, but I mean, what's the point of drafting a quarterback anywhere in the draft if after he goes, it was 20 for 31 in the first game or 21 for 30. And then in this game, he's 9 for 10 with a drop. I mean, and he's really good reports coming out of camp as well. He's a smart guy. He's got good feet. He fits the offense well. If you're not going to keep him as your third quarterback, what's really the point of even drafting a quarterback like that anywhere in the draft? And
That's
then,
true.
The third guy, Kader Kohu, I jumped out for me on defense. I mean, to me, you're insane if you keep Noah Igbenogany on this team over him. I don't care what they're getting paid. I mean, and they thought enough of Kader Kohu to give him a 6-figure signing bonus, which is pretty rare. They gave that to Kellen Deesh as well.
Yes.
But, I really like the skill set he brings, 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. Just played a low level of competition at Texas A&M Commerce, and I thought that he played really well. He had a pass interference call against him that I thought could have really gone either way. But to me, if you're looking for developmental cornerback that was Igbenogany was supposed to be, I think Kader Kohu's starting to look like that guy.
Thank you for bringing him up because, like, in the group chat I'm in, they talked about him, and I didn't know much about him. And I saw somebody had said they guaranteed him that 6-figure, and I'm like, well, that means they think highly of him. But then you're watching him play, and this kid looks so confident in his abilities. Balls in the air, he doesn't tense up. I like them, so I'm glad you brought him up. There's too many studs, actually, believe it or not, to add. Bobby only let me do 3. But that's a great option there to bring him up because this backup cornerback situation is going to be crucial. We don't know what's going on with Byron Jones, and Nick Needham hurt. I don't know whatever happened with him. Hurt his fingers. So look at that, Brian getting a shout out already.
Awesome. Well, hey, it's great to be on. It was scary for a while there because Needham. You had Needham with the hand, and it looked like it's just a finger, and it's not going to be a big deal. I got to check up on that too. Keon Crossan then goes down. He's looked great, but then he was back later in the game. Yeah, it was scary for a little while.
I was holding my breath. I'm like, Crossan too? Like, we can't afford this. And my wife makes a joke when Nick Needham goes down. I said, is that Needham? She goes, I don't know. Why do you need him? I'm like, not right now. I can't handle the dad jokes right now.
So, man, so let's get here. So after this game here, it's been 2 games, an eventful offseason so far, 2 games in the preseason. There's 1 left, which is next week, obviously. So, Scooter, I'm going to start with you, and then Brian, follow up, man. How are you feeling about the Dolphins going into this coming season?
I feel good. Actually, I like everything we did in the offseason. I like the pieces when the guys are building around Tua. There's no excuses, man. I feel like we're only gonna go as far as Tua, honestly. And hopefully the pieces we got for the O-line, hopefully they gel right. But I'm more excited than the previous years. I'm more excited this year for sure.
Yeah, I think that where the Dolphins were as a franchise heading into this year, after firing Brian Flores, I thought they handled the offseason as well as you possibly could have, given the circumstance. I mean, if you want to go back and talk about, hey, they should have drafted Justin Herbert over Tua. Okay, I didn't say it at the time, but I 100% agree now. I mean, but we can't do anything about that. Heading into this season here, their only other option was to surround Tua with as many weapons as possible. And Teron Armstead was the guy I had circled in free agency, heads and shoulders above everybody, is the guy you had to have. because he's a Pro Bowl offensive tackle, and he gets Austin Jackson, what we thought was out of the lineup. I still think he should be out of the lineup, but you had Connor Williams, who's a very solid guard. Moved him to center. That was great too. And then never in a million years did I think Tyreek Hill would be available at any point. So the biggest thing, I'm not a Tua sycophant. I mean, look, I'm excited that we're going to know about Tua this year. If he gets hurt, we're going to know about him. If he plays at a Pro Bowl level, we're going to know about it. If he can't, then we know about that too, and the Dolphins can make a decision sooner rather than later. And that's important. Keep in mind, this is an organization that spent 11 years on Chad Henne and Ryan Tannehill combined. So I don't want that to happen with Tua. I want to know quickly over the next 2 years whether or not he's the guy.
I had to take a drink of my beer. This reminded me of the dark days of Henne and Tannehill, man. You know what, Brian, you bring up a good point. Where we were to where we are now is night and day. I have been known to give Chris Greer a hard time about like the situation we are in, still needing offensive line help. So I have not a lot of answers to the offensive line. Still have a questions in the middle of the defense. It's still a soft area. The running back position, just not spending money there, though he did in free agency, but you still we don't have the guy there. So, and regardless of system, so I have my concerns, but they dug their hole and they're working their way out of it. And they did a good job to get guys like Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, and admittedly so, Cedric Wilson was not an exciting signing until they got Tyreek Hill. And I said this on shows before. When they got Armstead, I was like, okay, I like Armstead. Had some injury history, but he's going to play majority of the season, and he's a stud. He's going to do his job. He's going to be great at it. And then they get Connor Williams too, so that doubled up, made me feel better. But moving the center scares me. Then they bring back the defense as a whole, which I did like. Hey, this is what we did last year on defense. We're just going to bring you all back and do this again. And then you got guys coming along in Holland. Hopefully Jones will be healthy. But I'm a little concerned with some of the depth at corner. The middle of the defensive linebackers, unless Tyndall can really step up and be that guy. Roberts scares me, but Tyndall I think can be a difference maker. Phillips is coming to his own. I love it. ABG has always been good. Zach Sealer, the defensive line is stout. If they can continue that, if the offense can honestly run the football like this system does, if they can play ball control, which we know Tua can do, make some big plays with the weapons that we have, I think this team can be a winning team. It could be a playoff team. And this is the most optimistic I've been in a while. I've said before, the last time we got a player of Tyreek Hill's level, I went and bought 2 jerseys of him. That was Ricky Williams. So that's still exciting. The last time I think we had a superstar like this, not Mike Wallace, not Brandon Marshall, but like this, it was Ricky Williams. So and look how much fun we had that year with Ricky leading the league in rushing, and that was a blast. So I think this can be fun, even if Tua is average, right? This offense, what we've been seeing already in just preseason, the system, the way they're running motions, the way they're getting guys open, I think it's going to be a fun season. And I think if everybody stays healthy, I think we can see at least a fun offense, even if all Tua is average. I think we can still have a fun offense.
I think the Dolphins' best route to be successful over the next 2 or 3 years is taking the same formula the 49ers did with, and not just because Mike McDaniel was there, but I've always said that I think Tua could be a better version of Jimmy Garoppolo. And you got to be damn good to be Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, somebody who in that Super Bowl year threw for 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, and he had a good team surrounding him. They didn't get to the Super Bowl specifically because of him, but he was part of that pie. They had a good running game. They had a top defense, and that's the route the Dolphins have to take. It sucks having the Bills in your division when they head into this year. One of the, in my opinion, by far the best team in the NFL. So the route is, let's get ourselves in a position where they can win 10 to 12 games each year for the next 2 or 3 years with what they have, and I think that is realistic. And Tua would have to be at least realistically, let's say a top 12 to 15 quarterback on an otherwise good team. If he's better than that, great. The Dolphins are going to do better. If he's worse, then I think we're talking about a 500 team again, especially in an AFC that's a lot tougher than the NFC.
No, I think that's a fair statement. So you're basically saying, yeah, I mean, 10 to 12 would still be like, yeah, it's not Josh Allen good. And can we win shootouts with him? But that would be a fair statement. Anything less than that, he could be the team would be 500. I see your angle there. But that goes with what Scooter said earlier. What we go as Tua goes. Go ahead, Scooter.
Like, and on top of that, I don't think I don't think he's 10 to 12 best quarterback in the AFC right now. Honestly, he gonna have to prove. Yeah, the AFC is pretty stacked, man. Like all the quarterbacks over here, man, all the superstars. So he gonna have to go out there and prove it, man, for sure.
What a year for all these quarterbacks to get traded to the AFC. Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson. Other Matt Ryan's at the downcline of his career, but come on, man.
I mean, yeah, you look at Derek Carr. Just one thing. You look at Derek Carr, who's I'd say proven wise better than Tua right now at this point in his career by far. He's probably like the 9th or 10th best quarterback in the AFC. Maybe 8th but he's middle
he
of the
might be
pack
last
at
in
best.
his division. He might be 3rd or 4th in his division.
He is.
And that's not even a smack in the face because he's got Mahomes and Herbert in front of him. So it's like that's just insane. I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life. Because I mean, like you've seen Peyton Manning kind of run that division and Tom Brady run that division. So that's kind of crazy.
It is.
Now, it's a great point on Tua, and it's not really. People could say it's being a Tua hater, but it's not. It's just being honest. I mean, the way the AFC is built right now, he's not in that top 10, in my opinion. But you don't have to be in this offense with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Gesicki and McDaniel as your coach or whatever. You just have to be decent,
right.
And you could go, I mean, Mike Brown, who hosts Bottoms Up, Fins Up, would say, just be the equivalent of Jay Fiedler, and you could go win a playoff game, And I like that because, people want to go, you throw Russell Wilson or somebody when we drafted Tua, it's like, oh, he's going to be the second best Marino. It's like, that's unfair. It's like, come on, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Now that you see 2 years Marino, I'm just hoping for him to kind of hit, as Brian has said, as Garoppolo. I would say Pennington, be that 2010 Pennington, or was it 2010 when they went to the playoffs with him?
I think
it was, but be that, more accurate. Don't cost us the game. Don't turn over the football. You don't have to throw 5,000 yards.
But when the game's on the line, can you win the game for us? That's what it's going to come down to too. So it's funny we mentioned the 49ers, obviously for obvious reason. So the 49ers, here's the positives and the negatives, right? The 49ers beat the Packers in the playoffs. They got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is head and shoulders better than Jimmy G, right? We know that. But the 49ers still beat them in the playoffs. Why? Because they played full team ball. They played ball control in the offense. They're explosive on offense. Defense played lights out, and they knew how to beat them, right? So let's say the Dolphins can do that with the Bills. But when the game was on the line against the Rams, Jimmy G had the ball in his hands, and that's when they fell short. They still won playoff games, but that's when they fell short. Can Tua in that situation win us the game? And that's when you find out. The Rams and Jared Goff couldn't do it. However, with the Bills in the division, as scary as they are, you saw what the 49ers did to the Packers in the playoffs. And I believe did the 49ers sweep the Rams this year or split with them? And the 49ers are depleted. They split with them. So
the Rams, the 49ers swept the Rams in the regular season, and then obviously the Rams beat the Niners in the NFC Championship game.
Okay, so I mean, and so you see, like the Bills are scary. They're an explosive team, and they're like in their window right now. But you see what the 49ers are able to do to the Rams, and as good as the Rams are, they're ready to beat them with that style of football. So there is positives to it, but there's also the negative. It's Tua win you the game with the ball in his hands, and that's what we're going to find out, I think, this year.
And now look, there's two things to this here, and Scooter, I'll start with you. We were talking about at the top of the show the offensive line. Last year, Brian, we follow up, sir. That's what a lot of people were saying was the reason why Tua was struggling was the offensive line, 2.1 seconds, and absolutely that's valid. I mean, there's so many Joe Burrows. There aren't that many Joe Burrows in the league that could have a terrible offensive line and still go to the Super Bowl, but the Dolphins, they built out their wide receiver room, which is great. They got all the weapons. It's basically an Alabama palette type of offense for Tua right now. But the offensive line, they go out and they sign Taron Armstead, who you said, Brian, was on the number one on your list. They got Connor Williams, the 11th best guard, putting him at center. Question mark still at left guard. Question mark still at center, even with Connor, and then right tackle. So, Scooter, first for you, with this offensive line, how comfortable are you with it? And secondly, will it be able to protect Tua long enough for the Dolphins to win football games?
Honestly, I think that's gonna be up to Tua. With the protection, like he gonna have to make like protection calls at the line. He gonna have to like do more like pre-snap. Like I seen last year we were playing against the Bills. He see the linebacker blitzing, he don't make no change, and the linebacker come in and knock the hell out of him. Like he got to get better at that. And on top, he gonna have to use his feet more. Like he got to move around the pocket, get out, or like and move his feet more to help the offensive line. But yes, the offensive line should be better than last year for sure. But like I feel like Herbert, his rookie year, he had the 32nd ranked worst offensive line in the league. But like what the reason he still excelled, well, of course he he bigger, stronger, or better or whatever. But he got out the pocket. He moved around, and made plays down the field. Like I feel like Tua need to do that more. Like and I feel like if he do that more, the offensive line will be better. And like I say, he need to make pre-snap calls and line protection and stuff better. And I feel like that'll be better. Like he got to take command. He got to show that he QB1, and he got to get in the film room and stuff and look at the defensive players like tendencies and stuff and know if they bluffing or not when they blitzing or I feel like everything with Tua is mental really. Like I don't really think it's actually like his talent. I think he just need to get better mentally and that way like in the offensive line should be like they should get better too, like especially with the Azar zone scheme. Like it's like a lineman friendly, quarterback friendly, receiver friendly, like playbook. So I feel like offensive line gonna be better. It's still gonna be a few little, growing pains, but I feel like they're gonna be better. Like, but Tua got to help them be better.
Yeah, I mean anything's better than last year with that offensive line. Anybody who says it's not like that we didn't have a bad offensive line is just hating.
Right. What's your thoughts on the offensive line, man?
Well, yeah, I mean it's got to be better. I think two things can be true at once. Where look, I'm encouraged by everything I'm hearing about Tua, and a few things that need to be said about him too is in terms of I think his eyes, his feet, and his accuracy show the ability to be really good. And in the middle of the season, that's where I thought things were trending until he played, in my opinion, terribly in the last 3 games of the year. Where there was a time like after he got back in the lineup against the Ravens, from that point to the end of the year, 73.1% of his passes were either completed or dropped. So he's an accurate quarterback. And he can move defenses with his eyes. He shows that ability to do those things. Does he have the arm strength? Does he have the physical skills to be a top 6 to 8 quarterback? If I had to guess no, I would say no. But can he be the 12th best quarterback in the NFL? I think he could be with the surrounding cast. And that's the offensive line's part of that. And the offensive line, when I say two things could be true at once, look, Tua may not be the answer. That's one part. The other part is the Dolphins could have written a book the last 2 years on how to not develop a quarterback, taking him in and out of the lineup and surrounding him behind not just a bad offensive line is just glancing over it. It's a historically bad offensive line over the last 2 years. And I think this year, if there are a lot of question marks still, Armstead needs to stay healthy, and that hasn't happened in years. Connor Williams still can't snap the ball. Hopefully that gets improved. But overall, you've got 2 solid blockers there. I think that, and Robert Hunt's a good player too. I think the mistake that they made is they looked at Eichenberg, Dieter, and Austin Jackson and said, between the 3 of these guys, we're going to have 2 quality starters. And I am not quite sure that's going to happen or that they've earned that right. I think a big mistake. No. I mean, just to wrap up, if we get to halftime of the first game and Austin Jackson has ruined 2 drives already, we're going to say, well, no kidding. The guy hasn't blocked anybody for 3 years. Why did we think anything would be different this year?
Mm-hmm.
No, great.
100% agree. That last point you just made was spot on with, and it's basically what I've been saying. They had a Connor Williams and Teron Armstead, and pretty much like, our offensive line's fixed. They're putting so much faith into their first round pick, second round pick, and Dieter, who was a third round the year before in 19. So they're putting so much faith in that, and then meanwhile, their fourth round pick from 2020 in Solomon Kindley has looked better than just about every interior offensive lineman so far. Dieter has had some missed snaps to Skyler, and that was bad. I think that's why he's not starting at center, because his communication issues go back to last year looking bad. So I want to put. I don't know if he could do that or not. I don't know if he's that kind of guy, but I'm worried about that offensive line in that aspect. If we could find a legit center, I'd feel a lot more comfortable moving Williams back to guard. Then I'm feeling a little bit better, and then we could find someone to replace Jackson. I don't know, but you're right though. They took the three guys, said there's 2 starters here somewhere, and to me, there's not. We've done bad at drafting offensive linemen.
If it were up to me, I would reshape the whole offensive line. I'd keep Connor Williams at left guard, Dieter at center, Kindley at right guard, and Robert Hunt move back to right tackle.
That's an option I mentioned. Bobby could attest. I said put Hunt at right tackle and Robert Jones at right guard, but Solomon Kindley looks in great shape, and he's playing the best ball I've seen him since early in his rookie year. So I would love to see him actually take the next step.
Go ahead, Scooter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Honestly, I go get the Browns center.
They said Brian looks like Skylar Thompson.
Hey, I'll take the compliment there.
Yeah,
great game, Skylar.
I go get Treadle, man, and put him at center. Man, he already know the system. That's a scheme he's been running for Cleveland, and he's a veteran, and he basically been a top 5 center the last 3 years.
Yeah,
I feel like that'll be a big step forward to fixing the line.
No, absolutely.
100% agree. And I don't know what's going on with that whole situation. I know he's head of the NFLPA, and he said something. I don't know if that has anything but otherwise, I'm like, just like you said there, you're talking about at least a top 5, top 10 center. He's only 30, 31.
Yeah, he still has he could get him in here 1 year. Yeah. At least get a year till we can figure out something next year.
Yeah, facts.
He's 31. I just looked it up.
And very quick here, and we're at the about 4 minutes left here on Showtime, but I just want to, Brian's still here, very quick, because we're talking about the offense, but the defense is just as important. I have kind of been subpar on defense so far. There's some shining spots, but I don't know what type of defense we're going to get. So Brian, I'm going to start with you because we're running low here, and then we'll finish up with Scooter.
Sure.
This defense, I mean, what are you thinking so far with what you've seen? Is this going to be the first half defense of last year that was terrible, or is this going to be the second half of last year that looked almost elite?
I think the biggest thing is how healthy is Byron Jones going to be when he comes back? Because when you've got Xavier Howard and Byron Jones on both sides, it allows you to send so many players to the quarterback. Now, we've seen what happens even when Xavier Howard and Byron Jones miss a game. We saw that 2 years ago against Buffalo where Josh Allen went off. We saw it last year when Byron Jones and Xavier Howard both missed the game against the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence throws for 300 yards for only the second time all year. So that's the big part. Because other than that, I think the personnel is way closer to the second half of the year. Because in the first half of the year last year, Javon Holland wasn't who he was now. Byron Jones and Xavier Howard were playing hurt.
Even Brandon Jones. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Brandon Jones. Yeah, exactly. You're right. There and Jalen Phillips didn't make the impact that he did on the second half of the year. So I think personnel wise, they've gotten a lot better here too. And you look at the Dolphins schedule here and you see how they finished last year. And I thought it was so important that you return Josh Boyer. You get past the first 4 weeks and you take a look at who the Dolphins play at quarterback weeks 5 through 15 or 14. You don't face between weeks 5 and 14. You don't face a top 20 quarterback at all, except for maybe Kirk Cousins. That's the best one by far you're going to face. So if you get off to a 2-2 start, you can feast then on the middle of the schedule. And that's what the Dolphins did last year too, when they didn't face, I mean, they faced worse than, I mean, they faced Ian Book, Mike Glennon, Zach, really bad quarterbacks, but they feast on really bad quarterbacks. They completely eliminate them. So get off to a 2-2 start, then go in that middle 8 games. Maybe you can go 6-2, get to 8-4, and now you can have some fun for the rest of the year.
We build some momentum.
Oh, I like it a lot. Scooter, you want to follow up before we close it out?
The defense, I like the defense. Like you say, it's a couple of soft spots. Like our off-ball linebackers are mid. Like Baker and Roberts, like they got to get better covering. Like they got to get better, man. Like yes, Baker, we signed Baker to the money and whatever, but I feel like he haven't played to what he's supposed to be playing like right now. And he been in the same defense since he's a rookie almost. Like he been in the same defense for some years now. He should be able to, he should be playing better. He should be like a top 5 off the ball linebacker right now. Roberts is just a bridge gap player. I feel like Taylor gonna take his spot down the line. Eric Rowe kind of mid to me too. Like I don't Eric Rowe, yeah, he stick to tight ends decent or here and there, but I feel like he's not a complete player like Holland, Like I feel like he only can do so much. Like he very limited out there. Like, but other than that, I feel like our defensive line stout. We got good defensive line. We got good like rush outside backers. To me, Byron Jones, he got to play like we paid him. He got to play like we play. We need the Cowboys, Byron Jones.
Yeah,
that's the Byron Jones we need. Like, yes, he played all right, but he ain't played to match his money. He got to play better. Like, and like I say, the weak spots is the out-ball linebackers to me, and like the cornerbacks need more depth. But yeah, I think the defense is gonna be pretty good, probably top 10 defense overall. But
okay, all right.
I feel like it's gonna be a top 10 defense if they can put it together, man.
Yeah,
cool.
And
all right.
I'll say one thing: if the offense can keep the defense on the sideline too, and score points, that will greatly help this defense a lot. And then the defense can feast, like Brian was saying.
Yeah. Oh man, very cool.
Score points.
That's right. Well, hey, you know what? Brian, Scooter, thank you guys both for coming on to Overtime. I'm very thankful.
Really appreciate you both coming on.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Guys, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. You guys were watching Fins Talk Overtime on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Hit that like and subscribe button. Give the guys a follow. Of course, you got make sure I got this right. I want to butcher it, but I know at Brian Cat NFL, host on the Fin side. Check him out. Go like and subscribe to his channel. You got Scooter, Lil Scooter 254. Of course, Brett Legassi 67 at Bobby Finstock. And until then, we will see you guys next Monday night for another episode of Overtime. Fins up, everyone.
Fins up.
Fans up.